Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is another installment of what we do together. Isn't this fun? I talk a little bit, you learn a little bit. I bet it's fun. I bet it's fun on your end. I know it's fun for me. How are you doing? How's everything? I hope and pray that you have been well and that since the last time we've seen each other, um, or we've been in this position of talker and receiver, or because at this moment I'm in the giving state where I give to you. So anyways, I'd like to say a fine how do you do. So we've had a change of pace. Episodes are shorter. I'm more to the point, just because I want to make this valuable time that we have together count, right? So for one thing, I just want to congratulate you on making it to the 70th day of this year, right? In the West, we celebrate our New Year's in January, right? January 1st comes around, we celebrate our New Year's. In some cultures, they celebrate their New Year's right around this time. So Happy New Year. I hope that you have a most wonderful new year and that all the new things that you're ready for, that you just open your arms to receive. Because anything is possible, guys. Remember, if anything, I'm just a motivator, right? I might be here to help people. I might be here to encourage people, but I have a super motivating spirit. And when I feel motivated to come on here and share something with you, I will, right? So what I wanted to come on here for, I wanted to actually come on here 18 days ago, but life is going on. And let me tell you why I wanted to come on here. Most of you know that I'm sober from alcohol. Well, sober from any other alcohol. If you want to call me California sober, because I sometimes indulge in marijuana as a spiritual and medicinal aid, then you can call me California sober, but I'm technically sober. My problem that I had with anything, my problem that I had was, and you have the first step in curing the problem and helping yourself is admitting it, right? So, I had to admit to myself I had a serious problem with alcohol, and that one would lead me to abuse other things, not only myself but other things, which is why on February 21st of this year I celebrated 10 years of sobriety off of alcohol. And really, since that was the gateway drug for me, I don't really indulge in anything else anymore, and it's just been kind of natural. As I left alcohol, all the other things kind of left, except for I have a high reverence for the marijuana, for the cannabis, and the ability to be used as a sacrament, and I like it as a medicine. If it wasn't stigmatized, we would probably most likely use it as a medicine or as a spiritual aid 99% of the time, with maybe 1% of people using it for recreation. When I think right now it's spread around, right? 99% of the people using it for recreation, maybe 1% using it split, half medicine, half, right? Because a lot of people use it for medicine, so maybe we want to say 25-75, but then we got to leave some room for the people that use it as a spiritual aid, right? We cannot neglect that, right? So thank you for celebrating with me. This is my way of celebrating for myself. I help others. I pay back. I give back to the community. Because remember, guys, this isn't just for me. I don't have like all my family and friends on my social sites. This is for the people that are going to come across this, right? This is for people that are in the same situations like me that I was in, and they can see someone at the edge of that tunnel having had made it out, right? So if you're suffering from anything at all, guys, mental health issues, know that there's recovery in that. There's help for you. The first step in getting help for your mental health is asking for help. It seems pretty simple. You're like, oh, I think I knew that. But But I mean, if you're not sure what to do, the next step is getting help for yourself. There's 988. It's a helpline that you can just call when you're in crisis. Something I like to do is be frequent with my therapist. I like to make sure that I see my therapist all the time, and I've been going to therapy for a very long time. I mean, we're talking a decade here. But that's not the point. That's just something that is a coping mechanism that I've used that therapy has helped me build so many coping mechanisms. It's, I get a lot of comments like, you seem very calm, very cool, very collected. And I'm like, well, thank you. It's PTSD. I've learned to cope, and I've learned to be calm under pressure, because that's just what my life brought out of me. So, if you're on any kind of journey, mental health recovery, and you're on substance abuse recovery, because remember, we can even be addicted to coffee, right? We can be addicted to our pills that are medicatedly prescribed to us, right? People can abuse those things. And then all the other Schedule 1 drugs and thereafter, right? You can be addicted to anything. You can even be addicted to toxicity. You can be addicted to stinking thinking, right? And I know that's funny, but think about it. Like in the diet, think about if we put it in this way, this analogy. If we put, eating right for your diet type, let's say eating for your blood type diet, right? Study shows, the research indicates that according to your blood type, the certain foods you eat, do or do not eat, will help contribute to certain diseases in the human body. So a person who's an A could stand next to a person who's an O. They might be able to eat certain things similarly, but they should be following certain different diet restrictions and diet exceptions, right? Things you will allow into your diet. Because if the O eats like an A and the A eats like an O, they will come across other issues down the line. I'm not saying when you're 90, then you're going to have these problems. No, they may start when you're 40 or 50, depending on your age now. They might start in your 60s, right? So there's really no telling, and it's never too late to start an exercise routine or a diet lifestyle change. You don't have to call it a diet, but you can dial into a lifestyle change, right? It's basically what you want to do in this life, and if you're like me and you had to unlearn a lot of beliefs from when you were a kid, because they bullied you or whatever else, and see, that gets put into a record in your brain, right? So think about it this way, guys. Like I gotta mention, ice shit out that's going out there in the United States right now. This is another white supremacist agenda. Now, if they take me to a concentration camp like they're having now, you will be aware that I spoke about ICE being a white supremacy group. I'm well aware that they have blacks and Mexicans on the team of ICE. That doesn't mean that they don't have an agenda in white supremacy. These people have started to leave calling cards, or yes, they're called death cards. They look like a set of ace cards. And this is what the white supremacists would use whenever they came a-calling. Okay, and now the ICE in Detroit has started to leave white supremacist insignia. And you have to remember, and I'm pointing the finger at them, and if I'm pointing the finger at them, I'm pointing the fingers at myself. Because the real problem is me, right? The war inside of me is the war outside of us, right? So since they're trying to, this is kind of going off topic, but it's not, right? If you're too brown for town right now, realize that that's their agenda and that's what they want to do to you. They want to make you keep feeling like you're a minority when we're really the majority. You can now call white people the minority. But since they want to keep us in a debilitating and disappointing state, they'd like us to keep calling ourselves minority. We haven't been minority for a long time. when they came over here and conquested and illegally took the land, we were already here thriving, millions of us. Gay, straight, bisexual, trans, all of us. We were happy just here. It's a lot of cultures that knew about all that stuff. But now, when white supremacy reaches his little head up, it's like a little worm. Defective, ill, physically and mentally ill individuals with diseases have racism. Okay? There's no time to sugarcoat these things. They've done it before. The white supremacists plan shit out and then they execute shit. So remember, whenever they're trying to gather, organize, and perpetrate things, you gather, you organize, you perpetrate self-love, you perpetrate self-acceptance. You go so evolution mode on them that you fast forward on what they're trying to do by paying it so little attention, focusing on the solution. Put on your glasses of solution and see how we can hit this problem. Back in the day, you couldn't mess with brown people, right? Because after they did our slavery thing, remember, the slavery has happened to many cultures, many ethnicities over the dawn of time. Throughout history, it hasn't just been brown people that got enslaved, right? It started with white women, and it's like white, it didn't just start with white people. It started in congruency. The supremacists, these people that would engage in slavery, they have a sick mindset. They believe they're better than everyone, that they're more supreme, and they're not. They're diseased. They're infected. Racism is an infection. It's a disease. So remember, the power of love, when it becomes greater than the love of power. Let me say that again. And I know you've heard this before because Martin Luther King said it. When the power of love overcomes the love of power. Let me say that again. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, then we will know world peace. Strike back. Strike back. If you can't stand ice, if you're too brown for town, if you're any shade like mine, darker or a little bit lighter, you're too brown for town. Now, this is how we take revenge against the machine. They literally rally around your family with a pocket full of shells, right? And this is coming from Rage Against the Machine, the band. I know some of you are very young and don't know that band, but we're bulls on parade, guys. Are we going to fight with the system? They're going to show us the red. They're going to show us the red apron. And they're going to make us get mad and charge full force at nothing but their ideas, their defectiveness, their disease. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I got my own stuff to deal with. I'm currently healing from this and that and sa-da-ta-ta-ta. So, although I may not be public in my healing journey, I'm going to be public in encouraging you to heal because that's how we're going to get them. What if you get over your insecurities? What if you get over the thought that people are judging you? Because whether you do, whether you don't, people will judge you. They'll judge you because you don't. They'll judge you because you do. So remember, take it with the theory of let them. Now, I'm not saying let ICE continue being their white supremacist agenda selves. No. Cut that shit down. Stop taking $28 million out of the tax budget. We did not elect ICE. Your white supremacy agenda did. You will be exposed now in the age of Aquarius. Now, I'm just a little bit heated, guys, because I'm watching my brown people get hurt from this. I've heard words been spoken like they're trying to finish the genocide that they started during the conquest. Who remembers the conquest? Not a lot of us were alive, but our ancestors were. Okay, as sure enough, as those ancestors, blood, DNA, mitochondria, and all that special stuff got up into me, the epigenetics, just like the trauma, just like the damage that my ancestors had to go through and then pass on to me, they also passed on gifts. They also passed on talents and abilities that I'm so grateful to have. Daily, I invoke my ancestors to come over here and help me. They might not all 100% like me on the other side, but I know at least some of them will. And that's why, like Oprah, I always envision 999 ancestors around me constantly. What army are you going to mess with if I'm coming 999 deep plus one? That's 1,000. Sorry, what army are you going to come at me with when I already have an invisible army around me? And if need be, protection, guardians of the galaxies, guardian angels have my back, my front, my sides, up and down. So is it true to you. So is it true in your life. They want to make you believe to be scared. They want you to make fun of yourself. They want you to bring yourself down. But when you get up in the morning, they want to make sure that you are your own opponent. That way they don't have to do any work. That way they just take their energy vampirism and just focus on today's energy collecting. All right? So I hope you're mad, and I hope that anger points you to a solution. Anger will point at a problem. Then go a step further. Since the white supremacists are going all the way out, you're gonna showing up like this, then we're gonna show up. Then we're gonna do the most. We're gonna do the most. We're going to heal internally. We're going to peacefully resolve solve our problems and hold together a brethren so beautiful, so hard, soft, that we revolutionize the world by evolutionizing our soul. So take a step away from the supremacy that's trying to reign. Just like a cloud, you're going to see it dissipate. Rain clouds go over your head and then they move at some point. Right? So let me, because it's going to be short. I didn't get on here just to rap. But also remember, guys, I do these videos because, and I personal disclosure, I've disclosed a lot of times that I have bipolar. I had symptoms in my early adulthood, and then I was officially diagnosed in my late 20s. So there was a lot of years that I spent undiagnosed. I didn't know I had these issues. I just thought I was mentally unwell, and I was too afraid to ask for help. I wasn't until an aneurysm brought me down, and they kind of forced me into therapy, and then to acknowledge my own problems, they diagnosed me with this, because if I don't acknowledge what sort of problem I'm dealing with, I'm not gonna be able to hit that nail on the head, so to speak, right? Because when the therapeutic community or the clinical community gives you a diagnosis, they don't just diagnose you and let you go away. They try their best to help you. So I'm such a fan of therapy. I'm a fan of talking to your psychologist. I'm a fan of having a therapist every other week or whenever it fits into your schedule or your money. And honestly, you know, I wish that was something that was free to everybody, right? There'd probably be less incarceration, less trouble at home, less domestic violence in general, right? Less hate towards or even strangers, less violence towards strangers, right? So guys, don't let my rant scare you. Let it invoke the passion and fire within you. Don't worry, we're praying for all of you. Mother Goddess, Father God, have your back. Right? Because the people that choose to speak up, you're protected already. Like, I've been protected. So I'm not scared to talk about anything. I'm not scared to address the I situation as a white supremacy agenda because I can clearly see it. Why would you be leaving white supremacy death cards that are just like white supremacist death cards? Why would you be distributing those if you have nothing to do with the white supremacy agenda? Why? Just doesn't make any sense, Ice. Make it make sense to me. All I know is that I'm going to write a letter. I'm officially angry and I'm writing letters. And this is how I do it. With the bipolar, talking about issues, even getting on here and talking, hearing myself talk it out, it relieves so many symptoms. It relieves anxiety and depression because I can get these words out, right? And I know for sure that just because I'm going to trigger stuff, right? We're talking about some stuff, and I'm also encouraging you to push through your triggers, push through and heal your triggers so that you're untriggerable, right? So that no one can trigger you, only you. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, go, and that's you. You obey none but yourself, and of course the laws of the land, when they're inherently fair. Sometimes we don't have fair laws, and we have to fight for this. Remember that women have only been able to vote since like what, the early 1900s? This is crazy. Is this a news flash for anybody? Women have only been able to vote since the early 1900s. Before that, we couldn't vote. We couldn't say who was in office. We couldn't say nothing about our local communities. We couldn't say anything about that. Remember and experience this moment right now with me. You're here to experience freedom. If you're in the United States or any other, right now they're considering us a third world country and a country that is in risk of human rights laws. How do you say it? They're right now we're being accused of violating human rights because Trump, Mr. 47, 45, has been violating many human rights laws. And since his dementia, cancer-eaten brain is he's not getting it, it's falling on us now to be the cure and the solution to this problem. Raise your hand if you see a problem. Raise your other hand if you feel like you need to be the solution. Now, stand up for yourself first. Stand up for your community next. And take a large step for mankind. And I mean that as like in general, women and men. For mankind, for humankind. Take a small step for yourself. Take a larger leap for your family. And then take the final sprint because humanity needs you. Humanity needs you to show up and heal yourself. Heal yourself and teach others. Teach yourself, teach others. Even if you're not a teacher, how many times have you noticed someone catch your drift? Or they catch the wave that you're on and they start doing what you're doing? Influence for the best, my friend. If you're going to influence at all, influence for the best. Why do you think I'm always coming up with little quotes? Or why do you think I'm always like bringing up research and studies? Because I want you to learn that you're greater than any pleasure, than any drug, than any power that is elicited on this earth just simply by material things or gaining or taking things. Because remember, guys, happiness is an internal, inside job. Happiness is an inside job. When you see me walking down the street singing do-wah diddy diddy dum diddy do, there's a song like that. I'm not talking about Diddy. Let me be, because I've worked on my happiness. And all I want to do when you see me out there, because I'm a hermit. I'm a hermit. I love my solitude time. That's just how it is. I'm a social butterfly, but I also value like gold, like the most precious gemstone, my solitude. I value it like so precious, and I'm grateful that I have so much alone time. And then in another time, I'm not alone, right? Other times I'm not alone. And I can't do anything about that. And we have to live. Now, do we want to change the world according to our triggers? Or do we want to change our triggers according to the world that is inside of us now? We're not 3. We're not 4 years old. We're not 5. We're not 15. I understand that some of us got stuck wherever the abuse happened, wherever the hurt happened, wherever the damage was happened, or whenever even the beliefs were installed. What I'm encouraging you to do is go further, and be led by this quote. If you want to screen record it or whatever you need to do, write it down. I'm gonna make it so that you can see the captions. This is a quote from Sarah Baugh's poetry. Sarah Baugh's. And Sarah is like Zara, so it's Z-A-R-A, Baugh's, B-A-S. And she wrote a book called This Time, Save Yourself. All right? And in this book, one of the most beautiful quotes that I've ever heard in my whole life. And I almost feel like I've said it here before, but it wasn't necessarily the theme of the episode, right? So I'm going to repeat it here one more time. And remember, guys, you've been listening to 999 Ancestors, which is my music. I love making music. I love making instrumental music. It's just because that's something that I always wanted to do, right? Am I waiting for a Grammy Award? No. Am I waiting for people to notice that my music is healing? No. I simply am pursuing the happiness of my heart. Okay, so here's a quote. From this time you save yourself. And I hope and pray that this quote, I'm hoping and praying a lot today, because we need a lot of hope and prayers. I know that the Buddhists say lose hope, right? Because you only suffer because of attachment. Think about that one. But I hope that this quote makes it so deep into makes your brain like moldable, right? And I'm not trying to brainwash you, but if you're going to see it that way, if I'm enlightening you, then just know that I need this to be recorded. If you need to record the sound of my voice right now and put it in your brain with that little accent, you can. Okay, guys, I'm just trying to make it fun and everything. Okay, guys, I'm over here expressing myself, trying to help. That's really all. If you're noticing, that's really all I'm trying to do, right? So I hope that my helping goes a long way in your life, right? Because I didn't just come here to be like silent. I wouldn't have these big lips if I was meant to be silent, right? I believe my life purpose has a lot to do with speaking. So so that's life, guys. That's life. And it also has a lot to do with chest, like heart issues, right? So I'm a feeler. I'm a Cancer in this life. Well, in the Western. Anyway, so let's not get into that. That's a different topic. Astrology, right? Numerology. Find that out. It's very interesting about yourself. Moving on to the quotes that will save your life. I really mean it, guys, because I feel like if some of you think you're drowning, this is how, the only time I'm ever going to look down on you is to help you up. You understand what I'm saying? There's no room for me to compare myself or each other to each other. There's no room for that. The only person you have to compare yourself to is yesterday's self, which is you. Don't compete with me. Don't compete with others, because competition is the thief of joy. Remember that. And we're going to get to the quote in a second, but I'm long-winded and you already knew that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. All right, guys. It's not about the likes and it's not about the popularity, but if I can help at least one person, and I'm watching hundreds of you watch. So if I can even help a little bit in your encouragement and in the support that, you know, there's other humans that really, really encourage your growth, your healing, heal through it all, baby, and then turn around and help others, because we need people on the help staff in humanity. You don't need to just be in healthcare, but if we had more helpers on the planet, maybe more of us wouldn't be so scared to ask for help, right? So this time, save yourself, right? From the book. This time, save yourself. I'm long-winded, guys, but we're not going to be here too long. Usually we last hours, and now we're getting control of ourselves. Okay, so the quote. The tradition of passing trauma from generation to generation, like a family heirloom, stops with you. Its final inheritors determined to lay it to rest. What does this mean, guys? What does that mean? How did that make you feel? Drop a comment. But that's the point, guys. I'm going to say it again for those who weren't listening. The tradition of passing trauma from generation to generation, right? Passing the generational trauma, the epigenetic trauma down, because we know epigenetics is what we inherit. We cannot not inherit this. Epigenetic, we're going to inherit traumas. And this is for safety. Remember that what our ancestors went through and they took precaution against, what they survived, what they experienced, that is encoded into our cells in our blood, that it passes down from generation to generation. It's called epigenetics. Look it up, research this, it's fantastic. Heal yourself so that you in turn can stop that cycle. And then when the people that are after you come to there's nothing to inherit anymore. There's only good, there's only gifts, there's only talents, because this one stopped the pain. This one stopped the hurt. This one stopped the abuse. Now, if you're looking at my sobriety, right, from alcohol and other hard drugs, if you're looking at my sobriety of 10 years and 18 days as of today, you're saying, you're looking at a person that it's like I still do this for myself. I still remain sober for myself. But now it's taken a life of its own, right? Because even just saying I'm 10 years sober, I can see people's eyes light up. I can see a brain cell growing. Because, guys, when you're lost into addiction, you might not even know how to get yourself out of it, right? You might even be indulging with other people and their addiction, and you guys just keep up the addiction and stuff like that. Imagine if we had a whole generation of inheritors of anger, depression, anxiety, trauma from the colonization, trauma from our own families and their habits and traits that weren't too positive. Imagine if we start to develop our talent, all of our talents, because I don't believe every human, I believe humans have more than one talent. I believe humans have more than one gift. I believe it's particular to every family and the sets and the cultures and ethnicities that we come from. Okay. So, that's just my life. But what is it saying? All the tradition, right? Like a family tradition to pass down an heirloom, family tradition to pass down, a symbol, a family tradition to passing on recipes. How many families do that, right? We pass on recipes for cooking. How many families pass on traditions of teaching children how you raise your children, right? And now some families, and we know this because we live in a world that will give us a 360-degree experience. We'll experience most everything. Some of us are different degrees of experience, but if you've experienced sadness, then you know what sad is in every human. Just because we have different experiences doesn't mean the emotion of sad or angry or whatever is different in another person. So, these things that we're the trauma that we're inheriting, let's say it comes to you like a nice little, it hides itself as a gift. And, because your family's giving it to you. So you take it, you grab it because your family gave it to you. And see, in order to keep it, you're going to have to give it away, right? So if you keep, so much commotion. Hey! I have to shut them down. The crew, they're just keeping me safe first. Okay, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. So whatever you inherited, you're holding it on tight. Let's heal it. Let's transmute it. Let's dissolve it as something that you inherited just to heal or cure or make sure that you lay it to rest. Have that determination, right? As it stops with you, as its final, and consider yourself its final inheritor. And after you, no one has to step into that trauma. I guarantee you. Heal for yourself. So your family doesn't, the people that are coming after you don't have to deal with it. When people look at me and they see my sobriety and they see me healing, I'm not healing for show. I'm healing because my soul called for it, right? I don't even know who I'd be if I was still drinking. I like this person who I am now. This person doesn't have hangovers. She doesn't abuse things. It's wonderful. I'm recovering still. I don't call myself a recovering addict. I didn't like showing up to AA and saying, hi, I'm an alcoholic. I didn't like that. So I approached it a different way. And anything you have that you think is an addiction, even stinking thinking, if you're a negative Nancy or negative Nando, whatever, like that stuff you can change. It's all changeable. If you don't like the way something is, change it. If you can't change it, change yourself. Maya Angelou said that. All right. So as one encourager to another, I encourage you to go and start within. When they're trying to start a war outside, declare peace within. And you're going to see that resonate throughout the whole world. Okay. But most beneficial is you, because you leave with you. You stay with you. You're born with you. You hang out with you. You die with you. Do it for you. You're worth it. You're valuable. If you didn't exist on this planet, if you didn't need to be here, you wouldn't be here. You understand what I'm saying? Please understand, you're wanted, you're loved, you're meant to be here. Strive for more than you ever thought you could possible. Put on a new attitude hat. Put on a new attitude hat every single day. Change your life. Change your thinking. Change your life. This time, save yourself. We need you. We need you more than anything. I'm not saying I went sober, you need to be sober. No. Like I said, many people consider me California sober. Do whatever is best for you. I suggest leaving on hard drugs that can hurt your mental state or, hurt your situation in any way. Quiet! And I had to do this, guys. I'm sorry. This is life. I'm not going to be able to hold this down and go cuddle somebody. I just got to direct now. That's like kind of when your thinking comes around. Hey, psh, quiet. Visit me next Tuesday of 2028. Right? So, because I don't have time for this. I'm working on myself. All right, guys. So, I know this message was a little ranty and a little hard, but well worth it, guys. Remember, guys, that once you have that determination to lay to rest all the traumas and inherited negativities, your positives will heighten. Have you ever seen those people where they lose one sense, right? They can't walk or they can't see, and suddenly all their senses become more aware and heightened, right? So I encourage you to look at yourself with healing eyes and heal yourself, right? If you don't care about others, that's fine. Heal and believe in yourself. You don't have a higher power, that's fine. But you have a higher purpose. Please know that. It's more than what society's trying to show you. You're more than all that. You are a Godzilla. You're a mini God. Because remember, we came from a creator, so we're mini creators ourselves, right? Go out and create. And first start with internal happiness. Make that, and I'm not saying go share it. But by contrast, by just hanging out with you, people will feel that happiness. And if you don't want to be happy, okay, that's fine. Do whatever you want. Just don't hurt yourself or hurt others, because we need you on this planet. And even if you don't see spiritual matters at all, your body's still a temple. You were given one. Nobody gave you an IOU receipt talking about you owe me $30,000. Creator. No, it's nothing like that. Take advantage of the ride that we're on all together, guys. Whether we end up going to Mars or not, we're still here on planet Earth all together. And I pray that we can get along as best we can so that we can resolve all of this stuff for the better and leave this planet better than how we found it, right? So, we're done. We're going to pray. Thank you, Mother and Father God, for being with us today and always. Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for the light of our lives and the breath of our existence. Thank you for our ancestors, our gifts, talents, traits, and abilities. Also, thank you for those inherited traumas that are facing us and that we will overcome with your power and help and guidance. Let us do the best and highest for us and all those around us. In unison, we say, may you have the power and the glory forever and ever, so that your creations and yourself can grow stronger and stronger, because we worship you, create and merciful, beautiful creators of our life. Thank you, ancestors, for your role in everything. We lift a great hallelujah to the whole of existence. And so we say amen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody have a good life. That's an order. I don't know how you guys feel about orders, but I'm encouraging you to live a good life. That's what they don't want you to do. The part where they messed up is they thought we would divide ourselves between light brown and dark brown and medium brown and lighter shades of golden wheat and red and, black. They thought we would divide ourselves. That was their plan. And now we're going to turn their plan on their head, and we're going to use it against them. They're going to crash all on their own while we improve, heal, and manifest greatness for ourselves. That's all I'm encouraging you to do. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful life until we see each other again. Feel free to comment. Remember, guys, if anything, I'm a support for you guys. If you need prayer, remember I do Reiki, right? I do long distance Reiki. I come to your house and I do Reiki, right? Energy healing. I'm a healer, guys. That's something that you can't. It's like I was born with that. It's a talent. It's an ability. It's a gift. All right. I love you. Take care. Do your best at everything you do. Okay. And all right. Adieu.